Welcome to another episode of Controversially Outspoken. Here with Gmo,
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
and Gmo has a bit of news coming up.
Uh, guys, we're changing the name. We're trying to reach a larger audience, not really just a political audience. We want to be able to talk about topics that relate to your everyday life and maybe help some people along the way, people who are struggling with the motivation problems, depression, and just other things. I just feel like it's the right move moving forward, and we've got some names, and we're narrowing it down, so we'll have it here soon.
Every day the list gets broader and more narrow at the same time.
For real, it's like, oh, I thought of this new one. Ah,
Yeah.
all right, add it to the list.
One day we'll nail it down. But once it does come around, you guys will be the first to know. All right, guys, moving on. So this episode, like I said, this one we're doing differently, and it's about something that I love, and I know Gmo loves too, and that is working out, the gym time. Like this is peak time of my existence. I love going to the gym and just working through that, getting home, and knowing that I did that. So I was thinking to myself the other day when I got out of the gym, what would be some simple things I would tell myself if I were walking into the gym, or if I would tell someone, maybe a young person, maybe someone who's gamed their whole life, never picked up a weight, never thought they would. Like, what would be some intro, ways of getting them motivated, but also focused in the right direction? So I came up with a small list, and I'm going to go over it with you today, guys. And Gmo, he doesn't precisely know my list, but he is going to share his experience of the gym because I know we've both been working out. You're like long lifetime athlete. I know you've done different things. I myself have been inconsistently working out over the years ever since high school. And I've done just about every routine you could think of. I've hit it where, I'm at my peak weight, I'm muscles bulging everywhere. And then I throw it all away because I like ice cream or something too much. I don't even like ice cream. It was other things. It's probably tres leche cakes more than
Chocolate,
anything.
it's like cheesecake.
Chocolate. See, everyone's got their weakness. All right.
You getting me hungry, man. Stop.
I'm talking about it, man. I'm gonna stop by a carniceria and I'm gonna pick up a tres leche. All right. So my first one for someone who's never been in the gym, I would suggest find somebody. Nowadays it's so easy to find them. Find somebody on YouTube that you find interesting. Maybe you like their physique, maybe you like their personality, maybe you like the way they explain things or the way they're technical about things and really help you break things down. Nowadays there's so many people out there who are great resources on, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying here's how to get started, right? They will tell you precisely what to do. And in that, I would say watching those videos, find something that's going to keep you coming back, something that's entertaining, a person and personality or physique that will keep you at a place where you're just like always intrigued. You want to watch their videos, but because you watch their videos and and their content, like it motivates you to get up and keep going, and or maybe they tell you something that you just didn't know before, and that motivates you again to just get up and start copying them, start doing what they're doing.
Yeah, man. I like that. I follow a lot of people like Brian Shaw, who's one of the world's strongest men, Eddie Hall, even people who are a little bit less traditional, like Juji Mufu. I think he has a pretty funny channel on top of very educational too when it comes to working out. Um, and I like how certain celebrities like Kevin Hart, Dwayne Wayne Johnson, they really make it a focus to advertise and to put a big emphasis on working out and on your health. I follow both of them on Instagram, and they're constantly posting up, progress pictures, their sets, always posting up pictures of them at the gym. And that's awesome because they have a bunch of followers. They're two of the most influential people on social media. and this is what they're advertising. So if you need someone, if you need to watch some videos to start getting you motivated, hey, there's many professionals out there, many YouTube channels that will get you motivated, get you started.
Yeah, there's everything from, you know, mega bodybuilders to steroided out freaks to comedians who lift, or people who are just very technical about the sport, and they're very precise and they'll get you like going the right way. They're not as, you know, fun as interesting, but you know, you're definitely going to learn something, you know, and walk away in a much healthier mindset. All right, so next one, and I thought this one was basic. Like if I'm starting out, what can I do if I've never been in the gym before? One, you can buy your own gym equipment. You don't need a lot of pieces. When P90X came out, all it told you to get was like dinner plates, so you can like put your feet on them, so you could do movements on the floor, right? You did the pull-up bars, and you had the rubber band straps. You know, all of that was like less than $100. I think it was like less than 60 because I bought some of my stuff like secondhand and you know, on Amazon. So you know, you can find this stuff, but I mean, really, you could start at Walmart. I mean, you know, there's always commercial gyms. If you're not feeling comfortable, then you don't have to start there. You can start at home, absolutely. And you can start doing simple things. Commercial gyms, you know, it can be as low as $10 up to, you know, a couple $100 a month for what you know, it depends on what you're looking for and where you're at in the journey. But it is a process that you can literally start from home, and then when you maybe feel better about what you're doing, more comfortable with what you're doing, take it indoors, take it somewhere where you'll be around people who are doing the same thing as you. And maybe that will be like the difference of, you know, being able to do more or finding more motivation being around other people.
Yeah, and remember, a lot of parks, especially where I live, they have small gyms that you can go to. You know, they have their modified versions of pull-up bars, of chest press, of what do you call it, ellipticals. You know, they have a lot of machines. Some gyms do, some I mean some parks do, some don't. Hey, if not, go out there and run, do push-ups, do what you can. Also, there's a lot of gyms out there who give you a trial, who give you 3 free days, a week off, just to try it out. Go ahead and do that, and use that time to look up as many workouts, look up form, look up, do your research, so that you don't just go in there completely clueless. And instead of having to sign up for a year or having to pay for a whole month, you can just try it out in a week, and it won't cost you anything. But hey, it's 7 days. Just try to stick to it, and I guarantee you that at the end of the 7 days, your body's gonna ask for more. Also, kind of educate yourself what you're looking for in the gym. If you want to focus on things like CrossFit, then you're most likely going to end up at a CrossFit gym. Andrew used to do a lot of climbing. That's also a very good form of working out. So you can go to a climbing gym. You can go to a weight training gym. There's many types of gyms that you can go to. So
spin classes.
Yeah, exactly. Yoga. So really think about what you want to do. Set a goal. I think everyone needs to set a goal, even in life. You need to set a goal of where you're at and what's your first realistic goal. Because once you achieve that goal, then you're gonna set another goal past that. Even if it's just to keep your current physique, then that's your goal. But you know, eventually you're gonna want more and more and more, because you're gonna feel better. Your body's gonna ask for more.
Like one of our themes around here, keep moving forward. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And reach out to people. Reach out to your friends. A lot of people can afford a trainer. If you can afford a trainer, then go ahead. I 110% recommend it. Because not only are they going to show you the proper form, not only are they going to show you workouts, but they're also going to encourage you. They're going to put you on the right diet. At least a good trainer is. And that's very important. A lot of people don't want to do the research because it is time consuming. And I know a lot of people work all day. Some people have kids, families. I know. So maybe
there's a lot to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe start with the trainer, and in 6 months you could you know, start doing your own thing or something like that. But reach out.
Absolutely. I like that one. Next one, start slow, start low, get perfect form. And I will say in this regard that like over the years when I started lifting in high school, I was so focused. I think we were all focused on just moving the weight. And even when I was talking to a physical therapist recently, when I was working through some shoulder injuries, I told him like in the past when I started out, it wasn't about proper form. It wasn't about getting everything toned in the right way it needed to be like fully contracted in the right ways on the right muscle group. It was whatever you had to do to get that weight up to impress the other guys, to keep up with other guys, or to be ahead of the other guys, right? That male ego, that trying to compete with everything. But over the years, I've realized that like those things have actually set me back. And I've had to learn recently and reset a lot of my movements and lower the weights on everything and start over from scratch in some regards, because I just nailed in the perfect form for it that I should have been doing over the years, but I haven't been doing. So when you start low, when you start slow, you're getting your muscles used to not having to, move all over the place or be out of joint or not being contracted properly because another muscle group has to take over because the one you're trying to work out is the weak one, and so a stronger muscle group takes over. Like, no, when you do it low and slow, you're telling your muscles and you're putting muscle memory into it, hey, this is how the action needs to happen every time. This is how the contraction needs to happen every time. And that way, once you start building up from there, your muscles already know where to go and where they're going. And you're starting out at a way better position. If you started with the most basic set of weights and you built up from there, I would say go that route rather than going and starting with like 20s, 30s, 40s, or whatever, Start low, go slow, build perfect form, and then move on from there.
Yeah, that's a very important point. Minimizes injury as well. I don't know if you threw that in there, but form minimizes injury. I say it from experience. I've had shoulder pain for a long time until I stopped doing the bench press. When I stopped doing the flat bench press, I started to focus more on my actual form. So I went back to the dumbbells just because of my research. I came to the conclusion that dumbbells allow you a better range of motion. It allows you to target more your chest. You can feel it too. You can feel the squeeze, and you can really target those chest muscles and get full benefit of the workout, even if you do lightweight. I like that point that you bring out. Hey, if you can't do high weight, if you haven't been in the gym for 6 months, then do more reps. If you can do 10 of 15 pounds, then drop it to 10 pounds and do 20. And I guarantee you that burn, it's probably even better than when you're doing heavy sets. Especially Absolutely. When you superset it.
Yeah, and like I said, I've done every type of workout, but when I started over and I started doing low, slow, and I started, really focusing on form, like everything improved. I mean, it changed the whole game. And I felt healthier through it. And my body parts that were, when I was benching or doing other things, that were side muscle groups that were for some reason hurting, stopped all hurting. And the muscle groups that I was trying to grow, I could feel that I was getting the perfect contraction. So even though I was doing less weight, I could the first time feel the contractions I needed to, that I was always aiming for. I was always hoping that eventually I'll lift enough weight where I'll feel this perfect contraction. I didn't realize like I was going the wrong way. I needed to lower the weights to get those muscles to activate, to fire up, to learn what they're doing and how to do it. And then from there, I built back up to, where I was previously, doing it in proper form, but higher weight.
Yeah, and go at your own pace. If you work out with somebody, go at your own pace. Even if they want you to do what they're doing, if you know that they've been doing it for a lot longer than you have, go at your own pace. If you need to work out in the bench press next to them, if you need to be the one to change the weight every single time, then do it, because it will minimize injury. And if you need to modify a workout too, especially at the beginning, do that. Look for modified workouts, because a lot of people injure themselves trying to do a push-up. There's a lot of people who physically have never done anything physically, and that's not a wrong. That's not a sin. And now's the time to start. I'm encouraging you to start, actually. So look for modified workouts. If you can't do the regular traditional workout, and eventually build up. Go at your own pace. Don't let others pressure you into hurting yourself.
Yeah, there's this guy, Larry Wheels. He's like the epitome of in the bodybuilding world. He's the epitome of like people trying to keep up with him. This dude's a beast. He's a monster.
He's always getting injured though.
I don't know if he's getting injured, but I know that like I've seen just about every bodybuilder that I've seen work out with him who's tried to compete with him, tried to keep up with him, tried to ego versus ego. You're there with somebody who's bigger than you, lifts more than you. You want to at least keep up or at least push past your records beyond ever before, right? But everyone who comes there and it does those things, they can throw the weight around, but I mean, there's like 5 or 6 people that have been severely injured trying to keep up with this guy.
He's a beast.
Basically that's what we're talking about is, yeah, it's like don't ego lift and, be healthy about it. The long term is health, right?
Especially with if you have a friend that does weightlifting, maybe not like Larry Wheels, or if you do know Larry Wheels and if you want to start working out with them, stick to your own pace. Yeah. This guy has been doing it for a long time and he's put that work and that dedication to that.
Next one. So this one I was thinking about because as a young man, especially when we're all starting out in the gym, we want to see certain muscles as a guy, right? So my bit of advice right here is work out in the ways that you want to, right? You set a goal, but choose muscles that you want to see and focus more so heavily on these. In other words, if you want to see biceps, then put in a lot more curls, put in a lot more variations of this and that. If you wanted to see chest muscles, if you want to see them, growing, if you want to, expand your shirt, whatever it is, lats, traps, whatever muscle group that you want to look in the mirror. And when you see it, you're fired up, you're excited, you're motivated, you are ready to go. I'm not saying do it every time. I'm saying you could put it in more heavily than other workouts. But what I'm saying is that when you see results, the quicker you see results, the more motivated you are, the more fired up you are, the more you're like, work I've been putting in the gym is paying off and I see it. It changes my shirt. It changes it. You feel it. And just like it becomes that snowballing process where, those micro changes motivate you more. Then you get more changes. Those motivate you more. And then you just keep going with it. And then you just eventually get to a point where it's like, well, this muscle group that I'm working on is lagging behind compared to the rest. And I want to work that out now. And you just start doing that. And that motivates you to grow more in that area, do that thing. So it's like you're always evolving. You're always trying to perfect something. You're never perfect, but you're always aiming for it. But like I said in the beginning, aim for something that you want to see, that when you see it immediately, you're gonna be like, yes, I want more of that and I want to keep going. Because eventually you'll move off of that on your own, just in time. But in the beginning, choose things that are simple and simple goals and something that will get you the quickest results in those areas.
When people start complimenting you, oh, you look buff, oh, you lost some weight, then you're really gonna feel proud of all that work you did.
Yeah. There's that emotional like pride and like confidence that comes with it all.
There's a reason why we work out, people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, believe me,
it's not all hell.
Healthy, that's for sure.
It's not all hell.
Nah, it's worth it. It's good, man.
Yeah.
So next one, start in the gym. I would say, for a lot of people, eating right is harder. It's hard to do, right? Like when I watch my 600-pound life, it's like, I get it, man. Like those foods are awesome. Like I get it. like they're not really doing much to improve their lives. So it's like, it's that vicious cycle of like, I'm not in the shape I want to be. So I have bad feelings. So I want to eat those bad feelings. And because I ate those feelings, I feel bad about myself. It's like that vicious cycle, right? So my point is when you start working out in the gym, even if your nutrition's not perfect yet, right? The
Mhm.
fact that you went to the gym, the fact that you did something for yourself, that you aim to improve your life, even in the slightest, that will stick with you. So when you're at home and you got done with the gym and you're looking at that bag of donuts that you bought a couple days ago, and man, they're gonna go bad soon. So I guess I better eat like a whole bunch of them. I've definitely done this. Um, it's like what pops into your head though is like, hey, I just spent an hour, 2 hours at the gym, 3 days a week or whatever. Like I'm going to be undoing that. There's no point in undoing that. And it makes it easier to make the right choices because you're already in the process of doing something better for yourself. So it's like, well, I'm already doing something good for myself. Why throw that away? Why mess that up? So it becomes easier to implement healthier options, healthier choices, to begin to change your diet and the rest of your lifestyles once you start somewhere. And I say start with the gym. If you want to start with food and cardio or however you want to do it, like if that's your goal, go for it, absolutely. But from my experience, when I'm saying like I need to change my diet because I'm not in the place I want to be, it really starts to fire up after I've been in the gym for like a week or two and I go, man, I need to start meal prepping. I need to start eating more chicken breasts. I need to start eating more broccoli. I need to start doing all these other things. So the gym is, for me, has always been the starting point of like, all right, man, start getting serious about this.
Yeah, I've noticed the connection between two. Like you say, a lot of people, if you want to start with the eating side of it, with with what you want to eat, with what your diet consists of, then I feel like a lot of that ends up leading to also wanting to work out at the end of the day. You start feeling better. You start having, by eating better, you start feeling better. You start having more energy. You start thinking more. You're feeding, we're like cars. You're feeding gasoline. You need good gasoline. If you have a Ferrari, and we're Ferraris, if you just buy the cheapest gas, it's probably not going to run that well. So you need to go for the finest gas. It's just like the same with us. We're kind of like cars. We need to ingest something that's going to provide us the energy and the concentration, and feed us what our body requires. Um, if we're talking about diets, um, base it on your goal. So whatever you want to get to, because everyone's different. Don't just ask your friend and try to take his diet. You can modify his diet, but base it on your goal. Whatever, if you want the same goals as him, then use his diet and then modify it along the way. See how you feel. Do your research. And it's really about what works for you. I'd never done meal planning, but you've told me that to you, meal planning was key.
Yeah, I really liked meal planning, and I always knew when I was at the peak of my like workout game when just I started prepping everything. And it made it easier because when you already have the food prepared and it's healthy and it's right, when you eat it for lunch, you don't have that like midday spike and then crash immediately after. And then the rest of the day, it's like lag until 5 p.m. I used to do that, right? But then when I started eating like less heavy carbs, vegetables and proteins, like I started preparing those meals. When I showed up to work, I didn't have that excuse of like, oh, I've only got 30 minutes or an hour to drive around and try and find something healthy, try and find something that's cheap, try and find something local, and it fits in all those categories. And by the end of it, I just get something, that I like to claim is less terrible, but it's still just as terrible as all that processed junk, right? But meal prepping, it took my health and my mental well-being to the next level because like I said, I never got to that point. I never get to that place anymore where I'm at that midday and I hit that crash. And then I remember because it'd be like, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, do lunch, eat nasty, and then till 5 o'clock, the day's just dragging. Now for me, the day I don't slump. So it's like the same consistent energy I had in the morning, I carry through the rest of the day, and you end up feeling great. You don't get exhausted by the time you get home, and you're wrecked. It's like you're level throughout, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and also supplementation. Drink
Supplementation is
protein.
huge.
Yeah, take creatine if you want to gain some size. Drink your vitamins, your protein. Do your research, whatever works for you.
Whatever your goals are.
If you want to go, I know people that are crazy with it, that they drink shake in the morning, shake with their meal, shake at night. BCAAs, easy. It just goes on. The list goes on, but you don't have to do that. You're fine with just taking whey protein and a few other things if you want. It all depends what you want. Yeah, but the work's at the gym.
Anything.
You can take anything, but if you don't put the work in at the gym, then you're not gonna have many results.
That's it. And then towards the end of the list, we're getting towards the end, guys. Stop comparing yourself to others. I know we talked about that somewhat already, but stop comparing yourself to others and stop comparing yourself to the people that you're watching the videos for. Now, what I mean about that is, as eventually, if you stuck with it, if you did what I did, right? If you stuck with it and you were pursuing the goal of health and bodybuilding, like I was, getting stronger, and that's your whole goal, and like everything you do is towards that goal. You're trying to do all the right things. When it gets to a certain point when you realize, like, I don't look like the guy I've been watching and all the other people that I've been watching. I don't look like the people on Instagram. I don't look like the people at Gymshark. I don't look like so and so, right? It's because 95+% of the industry, the workout industry that you see online, is people on different substances to get to them to the places they are now. Some of that is outright, they'll post that information. Some of that is like, experts in the industry understand what a body should or should not look like naturally. And then some people are just blessed with genetics. It's hard to fit them in there, but they're probably somewhere around 5% of the people that are actually seen by you and others in the mainstream, right? So don't get caught up too much mentally of like, when you get to a point and you realize, like, I'm not becoming like that guy. My muscles aren't inflating like that. My abs aren't popping, like 9 of them, 20 of them out, right? Like, you just have to get okay with it in your head that, like, I will not look like them, and that's not my goal. My goal is the better version of myself, the best version of myself. And so don't over focus on them, which can cause you to lose heart, right? Like, you lose motivation when you go, man, I'm not 300 pounds and pure muscle, but I've been putting in 10 years of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because you did do it natural, and and if you're going for the long run, you aim for natural.
When you really put in that work, when you supplement and when you eat right, you'll start to know what it really you'll start to see that a lot of these people are not natural, and I'm not judging them or anything. Hey, it's your body, do you. But I think what you're trying to say is, don't get discouraged by this, because you've been putting in so much work. You've been doing it natural. It takes a lot. And there's people who are bigger frame that they might be able to get to that natural. But at a certain point, if you're just chiseled, like you said, not like 2% body fat and just ripped and all that, I mean, sometimes you could tell. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to tell. Absolutely. It's realistic goals. That's like, that's what you want to aim at. Some of these people are unrealistic, but you can always try. I think one of the last ones, progressive overload. I know that, like I said in the beginning, you will always start off with like low, slow. I always recommend that. But I would say towards, if you're looking to really, see muscular gains, you're definitely going to start progressive overloading, and there's tons of different ways to get that done. You could choose the way that works for best for you. But that's what's going to take you from, Mr. Skinny to, oh, he's got some muscle now.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, there's plenty of benefits. It's not just about strength. It's not about just how you look. Working out improves your energy, your memory, your concentration. It could help you mentally, give you a boost in confidence. I'm sure people have heard that saying, you look good, you feel good, you perform good. That's how it is at the gym. You start going more and more and more. You notice changes. You notice that you're getting either stronger or bigger or closer to your goal, and it motivates you. It motivates you to go harder. Sometimes you look at yourself. Sometimes I'm working out and I look at myself in the mirror and I see a new muscle and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go harder.
Right. Yeah.
It motivates. Like, you get motivated even when you're tired. You see something that you've never seen before and you're like, damn, I want to do it even more.
If you talk to like, what is it, the most successful people, like millionaires or like people, it's like, top 10 success tips for like everyone who's ever been great, right? And most of the time they have a health regimen in there of working out. So it's not just, by accident. Their lives happen. It's like they take purpose in everything, and you can find a purpose in finding, a better version of yourself. And I think to close it out, I'm going to give the gamer tip. This is, to me, back in the day, the tip I would have given myself, like, that would have severely helped me over the years. Test out. And what I mean by that is, yet again, it comes along with proper form, but like, I thought I was doing proper form in a lot of ways, but then I realized, like, I've spent so much time, so many years, like gaming, sitting in front of a computer, long hours of like, just hunched over and having fun, that like when my posture started deteriorating, it was getting bad. And I was taking that to the gym. I was working out with bad posture. So I was leaning over more when I was doing curls, which was affecting my shoulders and not as much with my biceps. When I pushed on my triceps, they weren't pushing as well. They were pushing on shoulders again. And then like bench press, messed up a shoulder. Squats, I was leaning too far forward. And then yet again, like, this is all a journey of self-discovery and perfecting yourself, and I realized, like, I slouch too much, and I slouched in the gym doing those things. And once I started putting my chest out, like Jordan Peterson says, put your chest out like the lobsters.
I feel like that's something you can practice all day long too.
That is, like, yeah, everyone should have good posture, but yet again, like, it's that mental focus of like, okay, I'm in the gym, like, if I'm doing this, like, I need to put my chest out, because if you don't, yet again, you're building bad habits and bad muscle groups and bad areas, and that's what leads to damage. So some people, especially gamers, or people who at least in front of computers for long periods of time, maybe for their jobs, like, it is utmost importance to recognize when your posture is bad and to fix it in the gym ASAP.
Well, before we go, I just want to basically give a few tips and from personal experience and a little bit of a recap. Stick to your own weight. Practice on form before you really start adding weight. Reps over weight and not weight over reps when you start. Don't be scared of the regulars. No one's looking at you being judgmental. Everyone's at the gym doing their own thing. Everyone's there to improve themselves. And I'm sure that most people there have a goal. They're there for a reason, because they want to improve their physical health, their mental health, whatever it is. They're there for a reason. And very important, guys, warm up. We probably should have said
Warm
this
up. Yeah,
more
that's a
than
good point.
we probably should have said this at the very beginning. Warm up. I know so many people that just run one lap and straight to their workout. Warm up,
Yeah,
guys.
or don't stretch their shoulders or their legs, and then they go into squats, and then they have back problems and leg problems. Like, they didn't warm up those muscle groups to get them firing.
Yeah, and back to the injury thing, it minimizes injury. Also, if you have the luxury of going into a sauna or a steam room, do it. Do it. Even if you're just,
I wish I had one.
Even if your first time is 2 minutes, 1 minute, do it. Build up. There's a lot of health benefits. We're not going to get into it because that could be a whole podcast episode. But if you have that luxury, I extremely encourage people to do it.
I'll take that. If I had a sauna, I would be in there. Best believe me, especially with this cold weather rolling through. I don't like it. That's where our beanies came from today. My beanie, your hat.
My hat.
We're trying to stay warm.
I'm a fight
fan. Hispanics got to stay warm.
I'm a fight fan. We don't have any sponsors, so if you guys want, no, I'm just kidding.
It's UPC. It's a different fight organization.
All right, we've been talking for too long. We're done. Bye.
Yes, that's it. Peace.
Grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change.